Hello, everybody. My name is D.Lisa, and I'm a dream doula.
And I am Cristina Spitera. I'm a psychotherapist and relationship coach.
And today we're going to talk about being authentic. What does that even mean?
I think being authentic, because we're always told, right? Be yourself, be honest, be true. And I think honestly, it's as simple as that. You
Yeah.
know, it's as simple as being true to who you are. A lot of times we're afraid to be. Again, you're hearing this theme so much when we talk, but so many of the things that we do that are anti us is out of fear. Well, I can't let
Mm.
people see what I'm really like. They won't like me. I'll be rejected. Da, 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 da. So I think authentic is just being you and just being real. And if you can't get on with somebody, then maybe you don't resonate with that person.
When I heard it said this way, which is, I think is super beautiful as a visual. Like everyone in the world, our world would fit together in a beautiful way, like a picture puzzle.
Hmm.
If each of us is a picture puzzle shape,
Hmm.
but our shape is warped if we're not really being who we truly are. So if we're living our life authentically, our shape fits into the puzzle. And if we're not, we don't fit. And isn't that a really good metaphor? Because if you're not being authentic, you do feel like you don't fit in.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. In fact, how many times have we met somebody and you're just like finding so many commonalities
Yeah.
and you're able to like be yourself and like you're laughing at the same jokes and just talking about things that people might find nerdy or whatever, but you're just like in your element because you get to be yourself. You
Yes.
fit. You
Yeah.
fit.
And how beautiful is it when someone accepts you exactly how you are? And
Yeah,
that's actually pretty rare.
that is. And I tell you, when you do find those people that do accept you for exactly who you are, those are the people you hold on to for life.
Yeah, those are your friends, your true friends or your true partners.
Yeah.
And I think it might be, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I think it might be the hardest thing to do in a love relationship.
It's the hardest thing in a love relationship, depending where we're operating from.
Mm,
Because a lot of people, again, it goes back to, but I'll lose them if they see this. Well, sweetie, if you got to be somebody different than who you are, then you don't really have them.
right. Well, and then I can think back on the 30 some years ago when I got married. I remember thinking, now somebody really loves me enough that he
Mm,
married me. But I still didn't feel like I could show all of my, what I would say, ugly parts.
mm,
Like the parts that I felt were shameful, I still tried to hide.
right.
And if you could really let all your bits and parts out, even if you feel like they're shameful and they shouldn't be there, and someone still loves you anyway, wow,
Yeah, that's the keeper.
right on, right
That's
on.
the,
So
you found,
how do we be authentic? How can we be authentic and know we're doing it? What do you
you know,
think?
remember the other week we were talking about how we trust that inner voice, that inner feeling?
Mm, mm-hmm.
So let's be honest. We know when we're not being authentic, when we get that icky feeling, like, now I'm holding back, I'm not really being myself, because we know how good it feels when we are.
Wow, this memory just popped into my head, so I'll erp it out. I love to do that.
Go ahead.
I used to be chronically late,
Hmm.
and I would lie about why I was late.
Hmm.
Maybe I was lying to myself, which is why I was late.
Right.
I would rush around and I would try to just drive a little bit faster, and I would leave 10 minutes too late. And I would think, if I just drive faster, now I could have done the math in my head. I'm really good at math.
Right.
And if you're going to drive 5 minutes, 5 miles over the speed limit to catch up with 10 minutes, I don't think you can just go on a 10-minute drive. I think it's like an hour drive.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yeah, so those nerds out there, you could tell me if the math was wrong, but something like that. But I was
Right.
like rushing and hurrying and doing, and I would say, traffic was so bad, or I had to take one more call. And the real thing was this. I left.
Mm-hmm.
And so one day I heard myself saying to my massage therapist,
Mm-hmm.
she's like, oh, I said, I am late. I was 20 minutes late. And she said, oh, I know traffic is bad. And I said, Becky, I left late. That's why I'm late. And she looked really surprised.
Not for the honesty.
And I said, it wasn't bad traffic. It was bad planning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be the last time I made an excuse, which is usually a lie, about
Mm-hmm.
why I was late. I'm either late or I'm not late.
Right. Right. There you go.
Right.
You either
So
live
when you
here.
find yourself trying to make an excuse about
Right.
something, you're not being authentic, are you?
No, not at all. If you have to excuse something, that means you're not being authentic. Now, the key is, I think a lot of the reasons we do make excuses and stuff like that is because we're afraid of the rejection. We're afraid of
Yeah.
rejection. We're afraid of somebody judging us. They're judging us for why we didn't, budget our time better, or they're judging us for why we did this or we did that. So the key is when you can remove yourself from that fear of judgment, from that fear of it. And I know that's really hard as human beings because we're all afraid of being judged. We're all afraid of that. But when you don't live with that fear and you're like, you know what? If someone's going to reject me for this or someone's going to judge me for that, I don't have control over that. And it doesn't define who I am as a person. So this is the key, because a lot of times we judge ourselves based on what other people think of us. And as social creatures, this is like super hard to like not do. But the more we can avoid that trap, because it is a trap, because you will never please everybody, ever, ever.
Well, and plus what you just said is that we try to please what we think other people think about us. We never really know what they think about us. In fact, most of the time they're not thinking about us at all.
Right.
Me too. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how you know when you're being authentic. We know
So,
how we know we're not because it
right.
feels bad.
Right. It feels bad. Like I loved what you were saying. Now, how did it feel for you when for the first time you admitted why you were late and it wasn't an excuse? It was the gosh, honest truth. How did that feel?
Oh, good question. You must be a really good therapist.
I am. I'm a really good therapist.
I felt good. I felt like, this woman had been, I've known her for a long, long time. She'd probably been massaging me at that point for 10 years on a regular basis.
Wow.
And for 10 years, I was late. And I said, traffic wasn't bad, Becky. I left 20 minutes late. That's why I'm 20 minutes late. And she
Mm-hmm.
said, first of all, I was so surprised that she looked surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just felt free. Like I didn't ever have to lie about it again. Not to her, and maybe not to anyone. And then, of
Yes.
course, I didn't really have to be late either. I'm not
Right.
I'm not late anymore for anything, hardly ever.
Good for you.
That might have been the turning point. But when you're authentic, it feels like you're in the flow. When you're authentic, it
Yeah.
feels like you're joyful and happy. And sometimes when you're authentic, it feels like you're making people mad.
It's true because like we were saying before, I think so in the spirit of authenticity, I am traveling with my boyfriend, and so I couldn't. It was like, do we stop somewhere or do I just do the podcast from the car? So we opted for the car. And this is why I'm in a car. And then he was making some rustling noises, to which we paused. So there you go. So that's the spirit of authenticity. And you know what? I felt good admitting that.
Right on. Yeah, those rustling sounds were the man getting into the car. So you're on a good adventure. Are you going to be authentic in your adventure together? What's going on?
So yes, we actually are very authentic in our adventures together, sometimes to a fault because we may not always agree, but what
Mm,
we'll always get is honesty. So, dear listeners, as you are honest and authentic with people, you are going to have people that disagree with you. You're going to have people that may get mad at you. You don't have to be afraid of that. That's part of the human condition. Not everybody is going to agree with you. Not everybody's going to like you all the time. It doesn't mean that there's something inherently wrong with you. It just means that's part of what it means to be a human being. And I think one of the issues we've been having in society lately is we've been so extreme in our reactions to each other. I love you, I hate you. And frankly, most of the time, it shouldn't be that extreme. Unless
yeah,
somebody's doing something horrible to you, there shouldn't be that much extreme. There's
I
room for
agree. I agree, Christina. And yeah, so the authentic, I also, what you were just saying, if you're authentic, some people will love you. They're your
Mhm.
tribe.
Yes,
And some people won't. They're
right,
not your people anymore.
right,
And you can
right,
just say, I am who I am.
right.
And the people that are authentically themselves will be attracted to your authenticity. And
Right.
it's something like, I would say it's something like an inner glow. Last night I was dreaming I was in this department store and I was trying on makeup. In the dream, I had like lipstick all over my face. And anyway, whatever. That is like the opposite of being authentic. I think is putting on a lot of things to hide who you really are underneath.
Yes, I agree with you completely. Actually, Dream Doula, I may share a dream with you.
Okay, do it.
I had a weird dream last night where I dreamed I went to this event and I was wearing an outfit which I thought looked nice, and then someone gave me grief about it. And I actually stood up for myself. And I'm like, you know what? I may not fit what you think I should look like, but I appreciate how I look right now, and I won't allow anyone to judge me.
I love that dream.
Yeah, I reclaimed my power in that dream.
And then what happened?
And then I woke up. I guess I finished what I had to finish.
I think that dream is like a premonition on what we're going to talk about.
Maybe.
So you don't like my outfit? I like my outfit. I didn't dress for you.
There you go. So
Okay.
whether you're dressing yourself through clothes, through whatever personality you're showing, dress in your authentic way and not for anybody else.
Right on. Oh, thank you again for your time and talent today. I really appreciate you, Christina.
And I really appreciate you. And we really appreciate our listeners and viewers out there. And thank you for appreciating our authenticity. That's what we
Mm,
guarantee. You tune in to us, you're going to get real.
we're getting real. We are definitely getting real. Bye for now, everybody.